Maybe she would be permanently there in Cameroon a couple of weeks from now. We don't know, but let's keep fingers crossed. We pray to have Councillor Lizette Berry all the way from Ghana again to anchor the program. So that's it there, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon once more. It's nice to be with you all this afternoon on set. As far as the program is concerned, greetings to all our councillors who normally come live on this set to ensure that marriages are just so up to standard. And that's why we want to say good afternoon to all our councillors, wherever they're connected right now. It is good afternoon from this end. On Central Mic this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, it is your girl, Miss B or Lady B. You know what to do. Whenever you see my face, you just call me Miss B or Lady B. I'll give you a pretty smile from this end. If you're watching us right now, numbers are in front of your screen. This is a file that came to us from somebody in Bafusam who did not disclose his identity or her identity. We don't know the person. But again, numbers are in front of your screen. Keep writing. Before you know it, the counselors will be here to give you nothing but the very best of counsel from the Zen. Let me introduce to you what we're handling today before our counselor, while we wait for our counselor to make his triumphant entry into the studios of NG Television. Ladies and gentlemen, we do not have time, so we're just going to go straight into business this afternoon. Please, I want to talk about, I want you to talk about this. I'm writing from Bafusam. A boy has been dating and living with a girl for, as Sto has said, it's not good for her. And they separated, and they have separated for a while now. The girl is hoping that maybe the guy will make things to happen faster, so on. But to her greatest surprise, ladies and gentlemen, that's why she's writing to us right now. I think we received this a couple of weeks back, but we had to deal with what we had. So she's like, to her greatest surprise, this guy is now living with another lady and is even planning to get married to this lady. So who is at fault here? And this woman, the first girl with the 3 children who marry her. And in fact, my head is turning right now. Good afternoon once more, Councillor Albert King. I don't know where to start.
Yeah, this is a very complex situation, and many people find themselves in situations like this on a daily basis. But one thing is certain: we must understand where they are coming from and how they intend to solve the problem they've created.
Good.
Because you see, saying they've been dating and living together for 3 good years.
Over 3 months.
Over 3 years, because they have 3 children. So we can't say simultaneously that these children were just born or given birth to straight within the straight 3 years.
Good.
Okay, except that they were twins at a certain point, or except that they were triplets. But all the same, let's situate this file. This guy and the certain lady, they got into a relationship, had children before God, before man. This method is wrong. Okay, the law doesn't support this type of cohabitation. With the law, you've got to marry legally. The church as well doesn't support this kind of lifestyle. So, seeing that marriage is something instituted by God, you will have to do it God's way. And for this case, is right. And what should be done? In a house, if your father beats you, if your father scolds at you, you won't run away. But if you are a visitor, if you are a let me use the word, an illegal child, you run away. Do you understand? So children will stay in the house of God. Now listen to me very well. If you are rebuked by God for anything, be patient. Stay in the house of God. Your life will become difficult if you run away.
Good.
Okay? So be a child in your heart. Even if you are an elder, you're so big, you're so rich, be a child in your heart, that you can be corrected by God, that God can talk to you through your pastor. If you went to that church to submit to the church, that means you trust the leadership of the church. And I will say with because I agree with this pastor, I will do the same thing. I can do the same thing. Why? So as to test the degree. And if I begin to see this,
but the testing
this kind of
cause havoc.
It's not the testing that caused the havoc. It's the disposition of this guy.
Okay.
There's something wrong with his mind.
The heart of the man is not correct.
Yes.
It's another angle.
Okay. But now, okay, let's go to another road.
Thank you.
On dealing with children in the house, there's a way that we deal with very stubborn children. So one of the ways that if I as a pastor, I saw that this particular guy is this stubborn, if I could perceive that he's this stubborn, I will not take instructions like this and corrections like this, then I better marry the two of you, even if you guys come with a shirt and a trouser, and then fry granules and corn, okay, and then we'll do full corn and kui. We'll do the
this thing is complicated.
See, Miss B, except that you want to put words in this particular file. Okay. Except you want to put words there.
And I'm reading it as it came.
Okay, if we are reading it as it came, let's be. I'm a legal person. I like using the text. What is written?
Good.
The pastor has said.
It's not good.
It's not good. The pastor didn't say they shouldn't live together. Good. I don't know if you're understanding. This is my point.
Yes.
The pastor has not said they should not live together.
Good.
If any other person thinks that the pastor has said they should separate, then you are probably getting everything wrong.
Because what if
the pastor didn't say? The pastor said it's not good for you to continue. So what must you do? The boy didn't tell us what the pastor said further. Probably further, the pastor would have said, okay, come for the blessing of your marriage.
Okay.
So you can continue living together.
Good.
Okay? And living together rightfully the way God will have it to be. So maybe pastor has said this like this, and the guy now, because he wants to use that as an opportunity to satisfy his lust
Good.
for another girl, says no, it's because of the pastor. There are a lot of people like this.
Thank you so much.
So I want to stress it out, viewers. If you get to our file, the pastor did not say they shouldn't live together.
Good.
The pastor just said what they were doing
It's wrong.
is wrong. And if you are living out there, you are not married, you are not paid the bride price of this lady, get to do it the right way. Let this marriage be blessed. That it will no longer be called wedding. It will be called blessing of marriage.
Good. But now,
Even the court used to do what we call free mass marriages. So if you don't have even money, at least take even the 1,000 to polish your shoe and go to the court. They will sign your marriage for you.
Thank you.
Stop blaming people. Nobody is to be blamed. The person who is to be blamed is the person who will leave this relationship.
The person who will leave
Who will leave.
I like that. And what if somebody is watching, the person is like, because still, I'm trying to be in my viewers' shoes right now. Some women out there too. Some women, I'm trying to, the file we were handling last week, it was about, lying to your parents. Oh, the guy, you handle it here. The person who who stole the parents' money and gave the boyfriend to go study in Canada.
Yeah.
Now he's successful. And somebody came like, I'm not even looking at the fact that, this boy is about leaving the girl. That's Wule, all the way from Betua. She was like, that writer was like, I'm looking at the danger this guy is about entering into. This may be, an international liar. And, she may enter this boy's life and,
Heart of man is desperately wicked, the Bible says. And everybody, like we say in French, everybody wants to cover the blanket on his own side without being taking into consideration the pain and the bane of others.
Good.
I think that file was sufficiently discussed, and it behoves us to understand that I want to just say, don't
time to take them home. But again, don't you think, I think this was my problem as a pastor. If your church is full of this kind of person, what is that step forward? So that we avoid things
the step forward, the step
if
forward.
pastor is watching, as a pastor,
My sincere advice if he wasn't patient, if he didn't treat us back with love and killed us instead, where we would have been today? So if you're a lady, because there's some ladies that may do that because someone did that to them.
Good.
Say because Jack left me, I will make sure that other women should suffer.
As a woman, you ought to be smart. At least a good woman would do what? Tell him to. I'm
Go
sure
back.
a moral
Investigate, do your findings. That's it.
Please,
I can be at peace. If it's a crazy woman that has 3 kids
every woman is rushing
and
to
desire,
marry.
if it's a crazy woman and pounds on that other lady and kills, because there have been situations like that, you will lose your life now because of a man, and there are several men out there.
The woman may say, "Oh, opportunity that I've been waiting for a very long time." Anyway, it's not the
That's
right thing
theft.
to do. Good. Yes, it's not the right thing. Thank you so much, dear Councillor Albert Kinga. Any last word there? Any
Yeah, I would just like to say thank you all for listening. It's been a long time coming, and we thank God that we are once more here, and we've been able to share a lot of light. I want to say special thank you to IK Mindolami. Thank you very much for listening, and thank you all for your comments on Facebook. We are so happy that you have been with us,